It's time for episode 125 of The Crisis Show here on YouTube, on the For Immediate Release Podcast Network, on iTunes, and wherever else you have this link around the world. Good afternoon from upstate New York. It's finally spring. I'm so happy. My name is Rich Klein. I'm president of Rich Klein Crisis Management and founder and host of The Crisis Show. Today, we're going to talk about Fox News, Bill O'Reilly, and the loss of advertising, a huge story that is a very interesting case study from both sides of the issue. For those of you not up to speed, over the weekend, the New York Times ran a expose about a multi-million-dollar sexual harassment allegation settlement with its biggest host, Bill O'Reilly, who since, I believe, 1996 has been the anchor of the O'Reilly Factor. It has gone through a few different names. It was the O'Reilly Report at one time, but pretty much known as the Factor, and it's the highest rated and most profitable show on Fox News and has been for many years. What's happened in recent days, once the story broke in the New York Times about these multi-million-dollar settlements, multiple advertisers began to fall like dominoes away from Fox News. So we're talking about major brands such as Mercedes-Benz, Hyundai, BMW of North America, Mitsubishi, Lexus, Bayer, Constant Contact, Allstate, GlaxoSmithKline, Sanofi, Coldwell Banker, and very interesting, the Society for Human Resource Management. So many advertisers have started to fall away from Fox News, and that's going to put them in a pickle because where else is the revenue going to come from if not from these long-standing advertisers? Additional advertisers today, it's being reported today that other advertisers have left, including T. Rowe Price, the major insurance company, Allstate. So what do we have here? We have a major media company, a major celebrity figure at the helm, at the top of this Fox News program, Bill O'Reilly. What's interesting here also is that less than a year ago, we had the other story about Fox News chairman Roger Ailes, who was forced out for the same thing, allegations of sexual harassment. What I find interesting, I find many things interesting about this. First of all, what I've seen in my crisis communications work over the years is that very often advertisers will stick with the people they're advertising on or the organizations they're advertising on, the media outlets, until there's real evidence that something bad happened. In this case, it took these settlement, the announcement of these multi-million-dollar settlement agreements to push these advertisers over the edge and to say enough is enough. And you wonder if some of these companies had pulled out earlier, would that have helped their own reputations? Really, they had no choice. Once the dominoes started falling with some of these big companies, social media went on fire and pressure built for other advertisers, especially those companies who have spoken so loudly, thankfully, for so many years about being inclusive, about equality for women, and having a no tolerance policy for sexual harassment. You can't have a no tolerance policy, but then advertise with an organization that, in fact, tolerated first with Bill O'Reilly and now. First with Roger Ailes and now also with Bill O'Reilly. And of course, what forced the issue in both the Roger Ailes and Bill O'Reilly's case is that very high profile people came forward with these allegations. So it's very interesting. Now, Fox News is going to be in a pickle, as I said, because do they keep Bill O'Reilly on air and hope for the best? Certainly, he probably won't lose viewers. I mean, there are people who are really loyal Fox News watchers, but the advertisers, the companies that have to uphold their own values about about sexual harassment, about having a no tolerance for it, and most companies do have that at least written policy about sexual harassment. What excuse me, what do they do? So Fox News has a decision to make. They could either keep Bill O'Reilly or get him out of there and prop up their other shows. And then with that may bring these other major advertisers back. Folks, these are major brands in the US and globally. And I don't know how they support the program. The other thing that Fox News has to worry about right now is the fact that these advertisers may pull ads from other shows. Other advertisers on other shows may see this as a problem just because it's still part of Fox News. Even if they don't advertise on the show, they may pull their advertising as well. So I think we're going to see more withdrawals, if you will, from the show and from Fox News generally. So if I was advising Fox News, I'd say get rid of him. I know it's a tough nut to crack for them financially because he has been the leading cable news host for probably 2 decades. I'm not sure the statistics, but certainly in recent years he has held that top spot. But Fox News has other shows. They have other people they can support, and probably a good idea to cut the ties, because look, if they forced Roger Ailes out, what's the difference here? They were able to get Roger Ailes out. They have to stand on principle here and probably get rid of Bill O'Reilly as well. So that's the Fox News side of it. On the other side of it are these companies. And it's so interesting for me as a case study because you have major brands who want to get that message out, who were using the popularity of Bill O'Reilly. He had millions of viewers and followers, and of course a best-selling author as well. So a big, not just limited to Fox News, he is a celebrity and has made money for these advertisers, I'm sure. But they had to look at their own values and their own missions and what they stand for and their corporate responsibility. And these companies that pulled out did the right thing. I think they could spend the money elsewhere, certainly, and make up the difference. For those advertisers who are remaining, they risk a major risk to their reputation, because what do they stand for? There are some advertisers who are hanging in there for now, and that is going to cost them, because I predict that much like these other companies that pulled out because of pressures from primarily, I believe, social media, these other companies are going to get hurt in the pocketbook as well if they remain loyal with their advertising with O'Reilly. So they should definitely think about their situation, because it could hurt them much more than the profits they're making from O'Reilly. Companies that have a strong policy against sexual harassment usually can survive situations like that if they follow their own policies. The problem that I've seen in many years of working in crisis communications and crisis management, I also used to be the head of media relations for the most influential labor and employment firm in the United States. So I know this issue. And what happens is you have to have a strong policy against sexual harassment, but you also have to act on it. And you can't just keep giving people warnings about their behavior because they're powerful people. You have to get people out of there who are problems, because it will cost your company much more by letting people like Roger Ailes and Bill O'Reilly stay on board. And that's just something that should be basic to most companies today, but it's not very often, because someone's making a lot of money or is a part owner or whatever the case may be, they get away with it. And you can't give a pass to when there's a pattern of behavior, and when people have gone to human resources and complained and nothing gets done, the price as a company that you're going to pay later on is going to be severe. So my advice to those companies out there, for those executives out there, is to take care of that bad apple situation as early as you can. If there's a pattern of of abusive behavior, if there's a pattern of sexual harassment, get rid of them. It will save you a fortune, and it will save your reputation in the long run. What do you think about all this from the Fox News side or from the advertising side? Let me know. Please use hashtag #TheCrisisShow. We're going to watch this story closely as a case study. It'll be very interesting to see the companies that stay on board with Bill O'Reilly, with the O'Reilly factor and with Fox. But kudos to the companies that said, no, enough is enough. We are not going to be connected with Bill O'Reilly because of these allegations that certainly now, because of the settlements, have some real weight to them. So again, let me know what you think. Please use hashtag #TheCrisisShow. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.